Hey, what's good, everybody? I wanted to do a quick reading. I wanted to do one yesterday, but I just ran out of time. Other things came up, but yesterday was an interesting day. Obviously, the election. I don't know what time they announced everything, but when I woke up, obviously, right, there was president elect already, right? And right away I started feeling this anxiety, right? And I know it wasn't mine, right? Because I wasn't that invested. Sorry to say, like. Because just from a higher perspective, I've been being shown a lot of things from a spiritual perspective, which I'm grateful for, right? I'm grateful for that, right? So anyways, I I felt the anxiety. I knew it was like some kind of collective energy because you got to remember it's I'm not someone that takes pleasure in seeing others suffer and all this and that, right? Obviously, there's a lot of people that do. But to me, I don't, right? So someone always loses because unfortunately, that's what politics have become, right? It's like the other day, right? There was already that super high of the Dodgers won, obviously the World Series, you know, and so everyone around here was celebrating, right? All that stuff. So and then this is, it's nowadays is similar to that, like a game, right? There's a winning side and a losing side, right? And people are obsessed with it and they go crazy. So this is what happened. I'll start the reading right now. I'll put a timestamp too in case anybody doesn't want to listen to all this. But that morning I went to feed my dogs and I put their plates very far apart. It's already been a long time, but when I barely got my dogs, they fought over food and then there was blood everywhere and it was crazy. And then I think they haven't fought since, right? But all of a sudden I fed them apart and the other one came to like mess with one of them while they're eating, and I'm like, what the hell? And so like she's all creeping up like that, and then I yell at her like, hey, and then she starts to run away, but then she turns back and she's starting to try to do it again, and the other one just launches out at her. And luckily there was no bloodshed, but one of them was slobbered by her neck, the other one her ear. So luckily I was able to separate them. But it took a few times because I separated them. They went back at each other. I separated them again. So it was like a little thing, but it made me. I was like, wow, what a weird thing. On the day after the election, I was like, geez, like, because for me, it's like the universe will give me signs a million different ways, right? And so, I think it's just a reminder to be, humanity going forward will never get. I know it's become that, but when you're dealing with politics, it's not about the winning team or this and that. It should be about all of us moving collectively for what's better for the collective good, and not in a like because there's this ignorance with I mean, man, I don't even want to get into that because that's just gonna be a long thing. Better I'll just get into the reading. I'm just gonna warn. I'm gonna give that warning. Be careful, right? Don't think you know, hey, just take it, whatever. If it is what it is, it is what it is, right? Um, but be careful not to, and maybe this goes for people in life too. Hey, be careful. You might just mess with somebody that they're not having it that day, right? And like, look at in my case, right? It might be like, hey, maybe two people go at it and then the police get involved, and they're the ones that put their foot down, kind of thing, right? So you never know, right? Just be careful. If right now tensions are high, because right away I felt that anxiety. Maybe people are right now, they're gonna be triggered easily, right? Right now is not a good time, and maybe for the next months, just be kind to each other. How's that? I think that's a good thing. I'll get into the reading now. I'm gonna use this angel deck, which you know I really like, right? It really spoke to me. So I'm gonna see, what messages from up above, right? What's the message from up above? Um, maybe it relates to that. Hopefully not really, but I guess maybe that was what I feel the message they wanted me to give. Like be kind to each other. Don't underestimate that. Maybe someone's really quiet, just like my dogs, right? One of them was really quiet, just minding her business. I would have never expected her to just launch out like that. Some people will hold stuff in, so just be careful. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful. Be nice to each other. Don't take it like just because you win doesn't mean you always win. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So hopefully that makes sense. So okay, let's just get into the reading, right? Um, can I put this mic too close because I'm more. Whoa. Oh wow! Out of all things, right? Michael, who is like God? Perseverance, success, and conflict, overcoming adversity. So maybe if you've been going through some kind of adversity, you know, this is the first angel. Before I didn't really even I knew of angels and this and that and that and this, right? I even had a connection with them, but I can't say that I had ever seen one. And then this is the first one that came to me in a dream, right? After I even seen one, whether you believe it in or not, because I would have never, right? I was even more into, yeah, but Michael was the first one that came to me in a dream, right? So, who is like God? So if you're going through something, know that you're being protected. And it's the chariot. Okay, so the chariot, right? These cards are a little different than the normal one, right? The Rider Waite, but I'm gonna read them just from the message here, right? But if you relate to it in that different way, I'm just gonna say what it is too. The chariot, right? So something coming fast, boom. So maybe you've been going through something. It's like, hey, I don't know if you even need to ask, but hey, maybe you do, right? Know that you have that protection there, right? This one's different because they didn't put that traditional like Michael on the devil kind of thing, right? On the devil's neck, but what is that? It's like a dragon or something. Looks interesting, right? So, Michael, right? Who is like God? That's pretty cool for the first one. So if you've been going through stuff, yeah, just know it's coming fast or just ask and it'll be there fast, right? Like at this time. I don't know about it. Other times, maybe other times you felt like, well, okay, where's the help? Or when is this help coming? But maybe the tides are changing. Okay. Wow. So Nine of Cups, Habuaya, God's kindest giver. Healing, preserves health, and cures diseases. Healing, preserves health, and cures diseases. So maybe that's something you've been struggling with, right? Just know it's almost like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Or, maybe that goes with Michael, right? Asking for the help and boom, if that's what you're dealing with, right? Or maybe that's you, right? The kindest giver, or maybe something's something's coming in that form, right? Someone might just feel generous towards you and be like, "Hey, here." It almost makes me think of just because I mean, I don't know if they're giving me that message or just because of what it says about that. Hey, maybe you didn't have enough for something, right? A medical treatment, something, and someone's you know, and it doesn't have to maybe it's an anonymous person, someone that how people donate to certain things, right? Charities or this and that, and something seems almost miraculous, right? Nine of Cups. So I don't know. That's beautiful. I mean, that's a beautiful message, right? Again, right? Like these, yeah, like it's a Nine of Cups. So if you want to take it in a different way, obviously, this deck is not doesn't seem like it's the traditional way, right? Okay, so any other? Whoa, a few flipped over, but let me just take the one on top. I don't know. This one, I think it's kind of naked, so I'm gonna cover it up for the sake of YouTube, not but it says Hariel. I don't know if the comforting God. Okay, because I couldn't tell if she's smacking. It's like two, but everyone's kind of like purification, protection from the impious religious sentiments. Oh, so I guess if it doesn't have to be religious, but if you're on a spiritual path, well, again, it goes with the story. It's something comforting, right? Nine of Swords, right? So wow, 9-9. So something. Maybe that it's coming to that to an end, right? Of something, your struggles or something, because it's a comforting God from the impious. Could it be that you were being spiritually attacked? I mean, Michael came to me. That's exactly when Michael came to me. It was like, so hey, to me, it was like, hey, someone clearly wanted to do something, and so they called out the big dogs. Like I didn't even, or the big guns. Or I don't want to say like, I didn't. They know I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but sometimes it's like that. Hey, like how does it say mess around and f around and find out, right? Because maybe someone's about to find out that you're actually more protected than they realize, right? So I'll just because a few of them came out, but I'll just oh, that one just flew out. No, maybe I'll pull one more after this and that's it. Maya Al. Godfather the Generous. Wow. So there's a lot of the same kind of the Empress. Oh wow. Fertility, fruitfulness assures peace between married couples. Oh, look, like it looks like the caduceus, right? Like the man. Huh. It almost gives me wow, it all connects because it's almost like the snake is now it's almost like someone transmuting that energy, right? Like how it says, let's say someone try to attack you. Man, I got allergies. So hopefully I don't start sneezing or something because I was with my dogs. Okay. So it's almost like that, right? Like the snake, right? And transmuting that energy, and it's like, oh, like, dude, I drink this. Oh, you try to give me poison? Dude, I drink this. Like, come on. Like, it's nothing. I transmute that energy, right? The Empress. Mihail? I had never heard of. Well, it looks like a feminine, but obviously it could be feminine, masculine, the Empress, right? Fertility, fruitfulness. Wow. So, maybe there was a tough time there, but, transmuting that energy, whatever. Maybe it was a spiritual attack, unfortunately. And, you know, because of that, they helped you turn into that Empress energy, right? So it's almost like not that you have to say thank you to whoever was causing you grief, but that's, wow, the God of hope, right? Three of Wands. Wow, that's amazing. That almost looks like it'd be a cool tattoo. Construction of the universe, help with great works, protection from adversaries. So there's the protection again, protection, help with great works, construction of the universe. So it's almost like, I mean, I'm hoping you realize, right? Like whoever this is for, it's like you're meant for something, right? Obviously, help with great works. And whoever was messing with you didn't realize that, right? That you had a purpose. Not that no, like everybody has a purpose, right? But almost like, hey, you know what it is. It's like when someone messes with, don't mess with God's elect, basically, kind of thing, right? Like I don't think people realize, there's something, and it doesn't have to be a big thing, right? Maybe you're just like in this earthly realm, right? Maybe you're just let's say you were a caretaker, right? So obviously you're an someone that does things for others, and here someone is attacking you. Just I don't know what their problem is, right? There's things like that, right? I've seen it with my own eyes, right? People sometimes they'll just find something to dislike someone about, right? And then who knows, right? But protection, right? There's that big thing of protection. So I think the universe definitely wants to give you that message of that protection, right? I don't know if I kind of feel like a lot of them flew out. So hold on. Man, dude, I really don't want to mess up this deck, right? So, well, I'll just cuz this one was there. The other ones they fouled, so I'll just leave them. I don't want to move right now because I don't want to smash them. The King of Heaven, Nithiel, Ace of Cups, right? Rejuvenation obtains the mercy of God and gives long life, right? So whoever was, it's almost like imagine someone trying to do you bad and because of that, things going good, right? Someone realizing like, wait a second, like this person didn't even deserve that. So it's almost like I get it, like the King of Heaven stepping in, right? Like getting that direct assistance, like not just the angels, but even like God, right? Saying like, you know what? Like this person deserves mercy, you know? It's almost like someone just letting God fight their battles and then because maybe you weren't even aware, right? Maybe you weren't even aware that someone was attacking you and this and that. It's weird. And especially now, in this age where oh man, like I've seen online where people even saying, "Oh, this is how you do a spell or something," and that just made my stomach turn. Like, damn, really? People are out here like doing that kind of stuff, right? Like trying to teach people, hey, well, this is how you do this or this is how you do that, and it's like, it's mind blowing, right? But I know those people got to pay that. They got to pay that toll too. Not just the people that actually go through and try to do it, but the ones trying to show it. Like, it's mind blowing to me, right? It's mind blowing. One thing I've been shown about the universe is like, you know, the universe will always seek balance, right? To balance things out. Okay, so I'll just use this astrology deck real quick. Oh wow, that one just flew out. North Node. Oh wow, Destiny. I barely learned about my North Node not too long ago, and it all made sense to me, right? So if you haven't figured out your North Node, maybe you might want to look into that. It's almost like says that's like the direction you're supposed to be going in, right? Like that's the direction you're supposed to be going in, the North Node. Soul School, learning curve, fulfillment, purpose, see, maturing, experience, fruition, North Star, process, development, practice, path, beacon, blossoming, becoming, integrity, journey. That's it. Oh, look at the little it reminds me of like the Wizard of Oz, right? At the end when it's all said and done and then they go on the hot air balloon. So there's that thing of like, fulfilling your destiny, right? Figuring out your North Node, right? That's like the direction you're supposed to go in. All right, I'll do one more from this astrology deck. So yeah, maybe everything happened for a reason, right? All that. Maybe you were attacked so you could learn who you were. And so, they probably did you a favor, right? That's how it happens sometimes, right? Like a job that fires you and the next thing it puts you on another path that was meant to be your destiny. So that's kind of what this whole thing feels like. Oh man, I should have just let them flip over. But I felt like everything was gonna go flying, so come on. Oh, no. Okay. That one flew out enough. 12th house, surrender. Wow. So that's what it takes, right? Surrendering. Oh, I didn't see. I was like, don't tell me they're naked or something. But what is it? Subconscious mind, compassion, dreams, karma, forgiveness, baggage, trance states, the unseen, healing, spiritual development, guilt, prayer, Akashic records. Wow. So maybe you might wanna there's people that say they have access to the Akashic records. I would say just find someone that is legit, and you might wanna maybe, I mean, it says surrendering, right? Surrendering, but in that surrendering, sometimes there is a little bit of like surrendering to the path they're trying to push you towards, right? So that goes with the North Node. Like everything happened for a reason. That's kind of what I keep feeling, right? Like everything happens the way it's supposed to be, right? It's like that. Let's say you weren't happy with the election. Well, rather than complain about it, you start like, okay, well, how do I get involved, right? How do I without acting like a, like that's one thing. Like last time around, right? When the election happened and it happened, and then someone throws a tantrum rather than like you know what I mean? It's like if people vote and then someone doesn't like the outcome of the vote and then they lose their mind, which I've seen so many times, not even just with like even on small things, right? Someone pouting like, it's like a little kid thing, right? It's a very immature, but in this case it was like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. But what was I even talking? I don't know. I'll just scratch that, right? Because then I don't want to say something like I could be pretty harsh with words sometimes, so I won't go into all that, right? I'll just let it be like, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do one more from the whole the Dia de los Muertos. See if any of your ancestors want to tell you something. So, oh yeah, what I was saying though. So let me just close that point. It's like if you don't like something, then hey, get involved, right? Like it's like that. Like that's when, like, even at this job I had, right? When I went into management, that's how it was. It was because it was like I told someone something like that, like, I could do a better job. Oh, you should put in for, okay, cool then. And I did. And then I went into management, right? Because I said it. Someone said, well, okay, then do it. Okay, I will. And then I did it, right? So it's kind of like that. Like if you want to change things and now you've seen, right? So everything's always a good opportunity to, I don't like that. Okay, then I'm gonna learn how to do it. And then I'm gonna do it, because that's how this life operates. It's it's nothing's new, right? Like someone probably 10 million people have done the same thing before, right? And it's just your turn, right, to figure that out in your life. That if you want something to change, then you know. Oh wow, look at that. I like it. 22. La Virgen de Guadalupe. La Virgen de Guadalupe, 22, right? So let's see what your ancestors wanna tell you. Maybe that's gonna jump out at you, right? Maybe you had a loved one that passed away that was big into La Virgen, or would tell you things about La Virgen, right? Like La Virgen. There's that whole show, La Virgen de Guadalupe, right? So, maybe you guys used to watch it together or something. La Virgen de Guadalupe, let me love you. Ah, I am truly your merciful mother, yours and all the people who live united in this land, and of all the other people of different ancestries. My lovers who love me, those who seek me, those who trust in me. Here I will hear their weeping, their complaints, and heal all their sorrows, hardships, and sufferings. Our Lady of Guadalupe. So that was quoted as by her. Message, my dear one, if you could for a moment feel the enormity of the love I have for you, if you could let yourself be wrapped in the folds of my robe, if you could lay your burdens and worries at my feet, you truly be in the highest heaven while remaining on earth. There is no sorrow on my side of the veil, only love that expands into more love and glory that rises into more glory. Because of the sacred umbilical cord that connects us throughout all our incarnations, you can receive this transcendent transmission right where you are. You've chosen this card today because you are in a place where you are ready to be blessed with an infusion of the brightest, most luminous love. Breathe as you allow your heart to expand into celestial stardust that permeates throughout the universe reverie, in a most joyous reverie while keeping your pinky toe still here on earth, right? And so that's a beautiful I don't know. It's almost like I don't know if it was from an ancestor or directly from, it felt like that was very like, different people have different ideas of who La Virgen de Guadalupe was, right? I'm surprised that this being more like a cultural deck. Well, it's not necessarily like an indigenous deck, right? Even though it kind of tied that in because the Dia de los Muertos has been around, according to I guess even what they put in this book, like, 3,000 over. Oh, no, no, no. I don't think they put it here, but that's something that's been passed down for over 3,000 years, right? Of this Dia de los Muertos, that they could trace it back. So, I'm surprised that this is the image, right? Because in indigenous cultures, they say that La Virgen really had a different image, right? But nonetheless, there's a consensus that there was this energy or being, right? So it's like, I don't know if it's more this being coming through, right? Saying, I'm here for you, right? Like I am this spiritual mother of sorts, right? And I want you to know that to embrace the love, right? The love that's being provided. And maybe it's all connected, right? Maybe that someone that's seen, it's like that thing though. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Not that they allowed this stuff to happen to you. It's almost like people are allowed to do certain things, right? And at the end of the day, like, God is always just, right? God, the great spirit, however you want to call it, right? The universe, it will find its balance. And so if someone was trying to do something to you, know that you're protected, obviously. Um, and I feel like things are about to turn, right? That's what I feel strongly, that if you were going through something, things are about to turn. If they haven't started turning already, right? Don't let the If you're in the US, don't let the anxiety get to you, like, you know, because there's nothing you could do about it, right? Unless there is, right? If there is something you could do about it, then hey, get yourself involved if you feel that urge to. Maybe it was all part of your destiny, right? To step into something, right? And things happen for a reason. So I feel like everything's gonna be okay, right? You just have to know and stay on a high vibration, right? Don't lower yourself to anyone else's level, right? Like if you're a good person, don't let other people sway you in that direction of sinking down to their level, right? So I'll end it with that. If not, I'm gonna keep babbling on, but I feel like that's the message that I was guided to give. All right. Hopefully you guys are all well. Peace.